topic is Pitch Investors Live with Blockchain, and our guest is Alice. She is a content writer, PR, and outreach at Pitch. How do we say your last name?
Hlidkova.
Awesome. Hlidkova. Cool.
You got it.
Awesome. So Alice, what is your story? Tell us about you.
Okay, so I was born in the Czech Republic, and I grew up in New York City, and I always had a sense for adventure, and I was always curious as a child. And I've traveled to over 35 countries. In the past, I used to be a freelance journalist living in Lebanon, Syria, and Iraq. So I used to do a lot of investigative work around human rights and women's rights. After that, I sort of didn't know what to do. I came back from the Middle East as it was, quite frankly, very dangerous to stay there. I went back to New York City, and I wasn't sure about what to do next. So I went to grad school to Carnegie Mellon University, where I got my degree, and I learned a lot about technology and the potential of technology. And so I started helping out my classmates who were starting companies. So I started my business, and we pitched to Silicon Valley investors, and somehow that all brought me to Pitch Investors Live, which I'll talk about in a minute. But yes, that's pretty much a snippet of my story.
So what is Pitch?
So essentially, Pitch Investors Live is a decentralized application. It's a blockchain. It's on the Ethereum blockchain, and it is the only app that allows entrepreneurs and startups to pitch investors live via live video. So anywhere in the world, you can go download this application, go on there, pitch your ideas, connect with the investors. So it's quite entertaining, and we're doing a token sale in 2 days.
Wow. And how did your team come up with the idea?
That's a good question. So 2 years ago, our founder, Matt Laley, he's an app developer. He worked on, it's a concept that basically he started when he had two people debate on any issues. He had one Republican on one side, a Democrat on the other. And he was live streaming the debate. And so we already have the iOS app available. And he basically said, well, there's the blockchain, so that takes it to the next level where more people can actually debate, and that turned into pitching their business ideas. Because essentially when people are debating about any political, cultural, or business topic, they're essentially pitching their ideas and their perspectives.
I should argue more. I'm just kidding. What was your aha moment?
Well, honestly, Matthew just started going to a lot of events and entrepreneurial startup meetings and different venues. He would pitch his app, and a lot of people became interested in the idea just because whether you're an entrepreneur or not, or student in college, we all have something to sell. We have an idea. We want to find the team members. We want to become funded, right? And it's hard because we end up going to the investor's office or the VC, and we are demonstrating our value proposition. We have a pitch deck, and then oftentimes we come home empty-handed. So that takes a lot of time, money, and energy. And essentially he realized that, and he himself doesn't like to pitch. So he says, I'm going to solve my own problem by creating the app. So that was the aha moment.
How about for you? Like when you join the team, what excites you?
That's interesting because out of grad school, I went to live in Arizona, and I had my mentors that were helping me start my business, my agency called Through the Changing Glass. And essentially, I had to pitch my business, and I had to go door to door and find new clients. And it turns out that it was extremely difficult at being a woman in technology. So I was always looking for an easier way to get my message across. And one of my clients was a digital marketer, and he was really good at selling his information online, basically his online companies that he has. And we shared our vision for technology and for blockchain. And because essentially the blockchain, you don't have to register your gender or your age. So you could be doing access a network of people and resources from your phone. You just need electricity to charge your mobile phone, and then you have access to different applications. And so that's really powerful for anybody that, doesn't have the means or the resources to go out there and pitch and go out there and get business in general. And when we just started sharing our vision of technology, of blockchain, and we talked about cryptocurrencies, this opportunity popped up, and he actually put me in touch with the team. And I just said, you know what, you don't have a woman on your team, so I'm going to be the first. That was the aha moment. I realized there are not a lot of women in the space because it is so new and risky. So I said, I'll be on the team.
Yeah, I just feel like there are women out there that are into blockchain and into crypto. But I feel like they're a little bit invisible. So I'm glad you joined the team because I feel like everyone is representing, human, right? Just being a human, just being different in a group that may be all male, is significant.
I agree with you, Michelle. And actually, there's only 5% of women are cryptocurrency owners. That's very low.
Yeah, I think that might change, or that will change because
it's increasing, it's improving for sure.
Yeah, no, because I think Binance has 4 million users as of January 11. 2018.
Exactly.
And I would hope that a lot of the women are trading crypto. I think women are household CEOs. They manage money, and they go shopping. They know what are discounts and what is expensive, and they can distinguish between different products like really well. So it's the same way as buying crypto. You have one product and then you have another product, and one product will have better team than the other. So I think it's really time to embrace that, and you really celebrate that, and and kind of say, women are cool and they're in crypto and they're everywhere. And then we and then expect that, that they're everywhere. So yeah, it's awesome that you're part of the team, and that you provide, your perspective to the team. I think that is very important as well, right? Because your feedback will be different from the feedback of the men there.
Definitely. And now we have 4 more women on the team. We just added 2 more today, and we're constantly updating on our website. We have 2 listed now, and it's really important that when there's such a big project, to have different perspectives. And on our team, we have entrepreneurs, we have people with corporate backgrounds. There are also technologists, marketing, people. We have a musician on the team. So really anybody can participate in this industry. Just essentially, if you have an idea and you're looking for that resource, you can get it on a platform. That's essentially what it is. It doesn't really matter who you are, what's your demographic, where you are located in the world, or what gender you are, which is what's really appealing for me, that there's no bias, essentially. It takes the power back to the people rather than an organization or a government that determines who gets funded and who gets access to information.
Yeah, and I think the information of the different kind of people has changed a little bit. I mean, I think traditional investing favors, if you're white and if you're men, and and it's good to see that changing with the blockchain. I mean, I think it's still a little bit. There may be biases, but I think there's a revolution going on. And I think people are seeing that. I think, we are sick of sex parties, or sick, of, the bro culture, and I think as a woman entrepreneur, I am sick, of men investing in men, and they're white, and I think we need to change that. I mean, it really doesn't make sense. I see and meet engineers who are women, leaders who are women, and why aren't they speaking at panels? I mean, it just really doesn't make sense. But, I think it's awesome that, this company is changing that. So tell me a little bit about, the team and tell the community about, like who's in your team? Are they a mix of business people? Are they a mix of blockchain people? Are they marketing and finance members? How does your team look like?
We have all of that. And if you go to our website, tokens.pitch.ventures, everyone has a little description about themselves. I mean, it's really everybody all of us have a keen interest in, number one, technology. Blockchain, that's another layer. And, all of us have sort of been around the world or started different companies. And Matthew just had launched many apps. And Jonathan, co-founder, this is probably his 18th venture. So he's just been in the business world for a long time, and he works with a lot of entrepreneurs. And, we just have a lot of people who not necessarily were working in the blockchain space, but they believe in the philosophy, the value, and the vision, really just the potential of the technology that was enough to bring them on the team. And I think that that's really important because essentially what drives us is our values. Does this project align with our values? And even what you were talking about before, 17% of startup founders in the United States are women. In Saudi Arabia, I had just recently written an article about the startup ecosystem in Saudi Arabia, is 40%. And so we're comparing the Western world, United States, to, the Middle East, where we perceive the Middle East not having, the people don't have the same type of rights or the same resources. And the innovation is still in the United States. We still have fewer women here in the technology sector especially. And I think that's changing. I do believe that it has to do with positioning and positioning women for success, having men and women support these individuals, and also, setting those boundaries. I set my boundaries all the time, whether it's in my personal life or professional life. And I think that, when I communicate my expectations, I'm not frustrated, and then I'm in my flow, so I can really get to where I want to be because I just set my boundaries. And I think that's really important, to say no and to negotiate what you want. And I think that everybody on the team has had some sort of experience with a lot of failure in their life, a lot of setbacks, and they're also big opportunists in a good way. Just they see an opportunity for social change, and that's what blockchain does. It's a social impact movement. And, that's the nature of millennials. But our generation is all about social impact. And until corporations understand that, and other cultures around the world, we'll be able to see a lot more of the blockchain technology being integrated into our everyday life for good or bad, but mainly good because it's up to us to decide how much we want to participate. It's essentially a long response to your question, but that draws back to the philosophy and really the vision for not just pitch, but for blockchain technology and its potential.
Yeah. So regarding women, I of course, been kind of thinking about it because it's just very annoying to go to panels without enjoying them.
I love that.
I cannot enjoy a panel of all men. And it sounds really weird. What really pissed me off is that, I stayed there for so long and I love to listen to people speak because, I wanted to learn something, and I talk about them on my radio show. So I would go to them and, all guys would talk and it'd be awesome if they know what they're talking about, but they don't, and then ask questions and I'm like, whoa, and then I hear their pitches and, and they were like, oh, so-and-so is my advisor, and it just really pissed me off. And then and there's no woman there. And it's like, 30 and so pitches. And you know what? If you have like one woman in every 10 pitch, that would be awesome.
Right.
I mean, awesome than none. If you had like 5 men, 5 women for every 10 pitches, that's even better. To have like
Right.
over 30 pitches with no woman pitching, something is wrong with that. And if we don't see that,
Exactly.
something is wrong with our society. I mean, 20, 30 years from now, do you want to be dependent financially, or do you want it to really be self-independent, right? And, how do you want it to create and define your life? So I mean, and how do you want your daughters to
Correct.
live, right? So I think it's just really something I've been kind of thinking about, and just being in a room for hours and hours, and really going through speaker after speaker. Yeah, it was super annoying. But
Well, I think to add to what you're saying, like let's take it one step back. Let's take it beyond gender. Okay, if we're looking at the world today and we look at age, we look at race, we look at class systems that certain members are part of. Okay, when we look at religion, we look at culture and politics, separate of gender. It is still about accessing the opportunity, right? So anybody that wants their basic needs met, whether you're a woman or a man, or from an African or American, we're all human. We want our basic needs met. That is food, shelter, and communication, because we're social creatures as humans. And so technology enables that, okay? Because we can find our niche, we can find our audience members online, and we can really have the resources if we have electricity to power our devices. And so then it comes up to really refining, again, it's refining our message, refining our pitch. I'm able to do what I do because I have men and women support me, mostly men, because there are a lot more men in technology. And, I have a wonderful life partner that supports me in what I do. And probably he's listening right now, Nathan Minahan. He's awesome. And I have really good team members, and with 3 more women on the team, it becomes balanced. Now somebody has to do it, so it's up to the individual to say this is wrong, not to say this is pissing me off, because we do things for love or hate. Okay, you can't solve a problem using violence. That's just beyond technology. You solve a problem by framing the problem and getting a group of people together to create a solution. So all of us on pitch, and just in any business and in our lives, we have the same problem, of access, of resources. That's what it is. So who do we need to partner up with to solve that problem? Let's not have ego get in the way, but who are the people in our lives that we can help one another, value transfer, right? And that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
So Alice, what is the problem that pitch is trying to solve?
Essentially, it's the entrepreneur's problem. It's we have 3 different target audiences, right? We have the business owner, we have the investor, and we have the audience member, the one that looks at the live pitches. So they're participants. They don't have to access the platform. They can just watch the pitches. If they want to become more involved, they can buy tokens and then access the services. If they want to do their own pitch, they can do that. And that's a lot of details. So I'll talk about that later. But essentially, for the entrepreneur, it's access to funding most of the time. So on the app, you can go and select the accredited investor, non-U.S. or non-U.S., to whom you want to pitch to. Okay? So it's very targeted. And for the investor, you could do the same. So instead of listening to a lot of pitches or the pitch decks getting stuck in emails somewhere, lost in emails, it's very targeted interests, right? And for the audience members, they're kind of, entertained by the pitch show. So if you think about Shark Tank, we're not Shark Tank. We're like Shark Tank in the sense of we have an entertainment component and we're pitching, but we're different because instead of 4 or 5 sharks that are evaluating our pitches, we have audience members from around the world that are watching the live pitch. So it solves the problem for everybody, and that's time and efficiency.
So you describe a little bit about how the platform works. Is there a beta version?
Yes. We have the centralized app in the iOS, available in iOS, and we're integrating now into the Ethereum network. So we have the tokens already available on Ethereum. They're ERC20 tokens. And so essentially you'll have, without going too much into detail, you'll download the app, and then you'll purchase pitch tokens, which will give you the opportunity, for example, to create a pitch, a business proposal, and then pitch it live. And the same thing for investors who can go access the platform with the pitch tokens. So this is all done through the app.
So what does your token economics look like?
That's a question. So we've entered a shift where from power is being decentralized, wealth is being redistributed. We always had centralized power across different industries. Now it's becoming decentralized, and it's due to social media, peer-to-peer networks. And essentially, that's driving a lot of the emerging token economy, where more and more people would want to buy tokens to access services and products that they believe in, and it's on their terms. So there's no government interference or no intermediary, and it's just solely based on peer-to-peer networks. And that's just one power of token economies. So we're heading that way.
Okay, yeah, and I was expecting a little bit about your pre-sale and percentage and all that information, but I think I think people can find that on your website. Who are your competitors?
We don't have any. We're the only blockchain app that allows entrepreneurs to pitch investors live. Period. We're the only one doing it.
Okay. That's awesome.
We've been looking into it for a year. Nobody has done it yet.
All right. And it sounds like a 2 or 3-sided market. How are you attracting the VCs or the investors, and of course the pitches or the entrepreneur, so how do you work on 2 sides of the markets at the same time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good question. So it's very simple. We have different online communities that we talk to about the project. A lot of them are on Telegram, where we have our own channel. We also go to a lot of conventions and events. And, it's pretty much an easy story to tell when we're at different blockchain conferences, just to really explain to people that it's really beneficial for both sides, because it saves people time and the hassle of doing business, of really matching investors with the opportunity and matching entrepreneurs with the capital. I mean, that's essentially, that's what it boils down to, because everybody you talk to that we have spoken to just has a problem to distinguish themselves amid the noise. In our hyper-connected society.
Huh. Cool. And I'm just trying to understand a little bit more about your platform. So, people can learn more on the website, and the website is?
It's tokens.pitch.ventures.
Okay.
You'll be able to access our team, our white paper, and more information about the token sale, which is in 2 days. And you can download the app in iOS version. It's called Pitch Investors Live. And that's and also join our Facebook group and also Telegram. So all that information is on the website.
All right, awesome. What is one advice that you would like to provide to the community?
I love this question. This is my favorite. It comes down to, it's really simple. If you have an idea, pay attention to what people are saying about that idea, because they will give you the clues, and they will always lead you to the opportunity. And sometimes that may take a long time, maybe 5 years trying to figure it out. But what's important is that if there's one tool that helps you get to that opportunity faster, then that's essentially what we're looking for. So, not to sound too much, salesy, but it's simple. If you have an idea, don't be afraid to reach out to us at Pitch Investors Live, and that's for you to get involved. That's pretty much simple. But yeah, generally be bold. That's what I personally, be bold.
Yeah. And
take a risk.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think providing entrepreneurs a voice on your platform with the blockchain is super awesome. And I think, besides pitching, is really the formation of the business, which involves product team, funding and everything else. And I think funding is really probably top 3 of a CEO. And I think, pitch sounds like it would be a platform for people to use to have some kind of decentralized fundraising tool. Is that right? Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah, it's. We always say it's like Shark Tank, meets Kickstarter. So there's that crowdfunding, link. There's that crowdfunding component to it. But in general, it's about mass exposure and really making things easy from an app. That's what it comes down to, and that's what blockchain does. We control our means of production. Without any central authority determining our opportunity or access to the opportunity. So it comes down to personal responsibility.
So your investors are global, right?
Exactly, yes.
Okay. I just wanted to confirm with everyone because I think it's kind of important, because traditionally investors are a certain group of people. And I think with the blockchain and with this company, it seems like, it's global investors. I call it micro distributed investors. I've been calling it distributed investors or distributed fundraising for a little while now. But I think it's more appropriate. So you have an idea, you go to pitch, and you can pitch to all the investors globally, and they will decide whether they wanted to invest in your project or not. And because ICO's process and blockchain are global, you have people who support you, from a global scale without giving up shares of your company. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, yes, currently. So we're doing a token sale and not an ICO.
Okay.
And essentially, we are also a platform for the token sales. And if you look at it from global perspective that you're alluding to, it's you could be in China, okay, and you're looking to, as an investor, you're in China and you're looking to fund some startups in the United States. But you've never been to the United States, and if you stay in the United States for too long, then you have to get a visa even to enter the United States. And there's all of these hurdles, these barriers. But with technology, with apps, applications, you don't have to go through the visa process. Or that's the key here. And you're not held accountable. Like, nobody controls your entry point. So you can essentially create a new marketplace online.
So let me ask you a question then. Let me ask you a question then. It seems like I understand that people don't need visas to come here. I think the virtual world basically connect people and brings the world closer anyway. So, you know, I mean, in a lot of ways, you know, outside of an immigration issue, you know, I think technology allows people to be together, even though it's not physical, right? So,
Exactly.
how do your investors establish trust from that far away?
You know, that's a good question. Trust. So we will have a pretty significant vetting process to make sure that, you know, we have a KYC in place, make sure that the companies are the companies that they say they are. And so that's really important because neither the entrepreneur or the investor have time to do their due diligence. And essentially, you know, we provide that educational platform, we provide the business platform, and also the entertaining platform. So we really ensure that the best ideas are on the platform. Not just I'm not talking about, I'm sorry, not the best, but legitimate, legal. I mean, depending what's legal, but basically everybody has to go through a vetting process, both the entrepreneur and the investor, because that's the trust. There has to be background checks. We'll have that. So there is that layer of security that establishes trust.
Okay, awesome. I've actually I've seen a company that's very similar, and I just forgot their name. It's an international company. Yeah, it's an international company, and it basically connects investors with startups. And of course, I haven't seen your platform. You know, but you know, I think there are something.
I don't think there's central. There's two others out there that are centralized. It's called, I think one is 1,000 Angels. The thing is, nobody's doing it on a decentralized platform.
Yeah.
They're just not doing it.
Yeah, but I think decentralization is new. I mean, even with AngelList, you know, like I think if AngelList add the blockchain on there, it would be a direct competitor of you guys, right? So.
Yeah, I mean, except AngelList doesn't do any live pitches.
Yeah. I mean, you know, but they can add a new feature on it, right? So, I mean, I'm just saying that, you know, I mean, now since it's new and I'm not sure, you know, if you guys file a patent for it or, you know, if it's open source, but I'm just kind of saying, you know, so, you know, I'm just trying to ask like educated questions for the community. So it sounds awesome. I really like the idea. I think it really allows globally, you know, anyone to seek funding and pitch to investors, no matter who they are. Regardless of gender or religion and ethnicity and all that stuff, which sounds, you know, great. I think it's really a solution to some of the limitations that society may have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That society imposes. Exactly.
So, so if people wanted to find you, they would go to, I think
I have so my personal and professional website is alicehlidkova.com. That's sort of where my landing page, my first name and last name.com. And then they could also, they could reach me on that website, or they can email me directly for any pitch questions to alice@pitch.ventures.
Awesome. So, and Alice's last name is very special. It's spelled Hlidkova.
That's correct.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'm from the Czech Republic. It's the Czech last name and raised in New York City. So
awesome.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, actually, I just don't know if the L is silent. So now that I've known, it's Hlidkova, right? It's really cool.
You got it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Hlidkova.
Yeah, but thank you for your time, you know, to be with this community. Thank you for your advice. And, you know, I'm really looking forward to you guys being live. And, you know, I think someone here has downloaded your app already. So, yeah. We're checking it out on the Apple Store. So it's super awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, because we already have over 1,000 users that were successfully have created pictures. So that's pretty cool. We already have over 1,000 users. Yep.
Yeah. So, guys,
cool.
The community, check out Alice's app. It's called Pitch. And Pitch Investors Live. And their website is, I think, I can never remember it.
Oh no, my first and last name.com.
Okay, so
And go ahead.
the pitch website is pitch.
Tokens TOKENS
Yeah. I got
dot
it.
pitch
Yeah.
PITCH dot ventures.
Okay, so I got that. It's tokens.pitch.ventures, and there's no .com or anything. So I think that ventures is a domain. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you for your time, Alice, and thanks for speaking with us about your company. We're really excited, and you guys check it out.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.